Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to TinyBlueGames. My name, of course, is Seesaw or Chris, and today we are streaming some Final Fantasy XIV. Let me know in chat if you can hear me before I go for too long. But today we are doing some MSQ progression in Final Fantasy XIV. It's been a while since I've done some Final Fantasy XIV streaming content, or any content really. I'll be honest, it's been a bit of games coming out throughout February and the start of March. It all started with Lost Ark, and then Guild Wars 2 came out, which was pretty big for me, and it still is pretty big for me. I've been going pretty hard at that story, and let me just say it is incredible, the story. So that's still going on. But I wanted to get back to Final Fantasy XIV for a bit. We had gotten to a very interesting point in the story. I do feel like we're getting closer to the end of Stormblood, and I'm of course excited to dive into the next couple of expansions as well. It's so nice because we have so much content to get through, you know? So yeah, it looks like people can hear us. We have quite a few people in chat today. Welcome everyone. I see Zakuro, Olaf, Karamaram. I feel like your name always like throws me off because like I see like half of it and then I'm like, okay. He says Merry Sunday. Zakuro says hello, audio is good, glad to hear it. Patrick says we can hear you, thank you. Karamaran says we can hear you. Okay, a lot of people saying it sounds good. That's good. Terminus, hello. Patrick, Tiny Blue, Stormblood Games, exactly, Stormblood Games. Olaf says hello. Hello. You are audible. There we go. Drelkag says, or waves. I guess he didn't really say anything, but you know, that's me telling you what he says. Patrick says Seesaw or Chris is ready to rock. We are ready to rock. It's actually turned to night since I've been here. It was so bright last time I was in the game. But here we are. Cameron says it's easy. It's just the first part of Caramel, and then Karamaram? I don't know. Maybe you've confused me more, but hopefully you don't take offense. It's not me trying to mispronounce your name. But yeah, let's get into it. Because I know I can talk forever, and then it'll feel like we get an Aether Current. That's exciting. That's something. You have done us a great service this day. Long shall... Oh yeah, it's got the snake stuff. Sisters sissing the praise of Akon Slayer. Let us bear them of the Seer Lakshmi passing. Come friends to Vera Nila. I might not do the snake voice the whole time. We'll see. We'll see how we want to do this. All right, where are we off to? Just sort of back that way. Olaf says, wife and I have been playing around in Lost Ark, only around level 26, feeling a little overwhelmed with MMOs. Yeah, I kind of echo that. Like, it seems like there's just a lot going on in the MMO space for 2022, which is great. But it's kind of actually the first time ever that I've been like, I want to play a lot of different games, and I don't get to. For Lost Ark, I think, 36 or 37 in it, but I'll be honest, mostly what I do in Lost Ark is I go in and I PvP. I've just really been enjoying their 3v3 team deathmatch arena, and not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm pretty good at it. There's no ranking system yet. I believe the ranking system is supposed to come in March, but yeah, so I've been enjoying PvP. PvE, I haven't really been doing much, and I know it gets so much better once you get to max level. I've heard that, but I don't know. I don't really have a game I've been PvPing in at the moment, and because of that, Lost Ark's kind of been filling that hole, so so there you go. And Caravan says, no offense taken, many have had trouble with it. Okay, glad to hear, Ah, the winds whispered of your success, and your eyes confirm their testimony. The Lady of Bliss no longer holds Kalyan sisters in her thrall. For this, we thank you. I put the one S there. Seesaw did the deed. We were but witnesses of his heroism. However, I fear this is only the beginning. For there is no cure for a witch that drives the despair to beseech the gods for salvation. Should they wish to use their crystals to summon Sir Lakshmi again, naught can be done to stop them. Well, I feel like a certain scion will be brought back in, but we'll see. We ignore our sister's plight at our peril. This we know. We shall endeavor to show them another pass, so that the day you speak of never comes. We're all in this together, Alamegans and Anada. We understand that. Hopefully, in time, they will too. You and yours will ever be friends of the Vera. On that, you have my word. We should be getting back to the Peering Stones. Thank you, Sharisha, for everything. Wow. Hello? Okay. It was a weird delay there. Olaf says, what classes are you sort of maining? I started with the Deadeye. It was really difficult. I've been learning controls with Berserker, and it's making Deadeye easier. And you're going to know all of a sudden my lack of knowledge. I've only played one class in that game. I believe it's called the Sharpshooter. It's the actual bow with like the falcon or whatever is what I've been playing, and I've really been enjoying it in PvP because it's got a nice amount of mobility, and then you can kind of pause and like do these big damage shots. So what I'll often do in PvP is take very little damage and get a lot of assists. I might not like risk everything to go in and kill someone, but it's been pretty good. Did I click on this? There we go. Perfect. But yeah, thanks for coming, everyone. I know it's a bit different for us to do a Sunday time, but I had time on Sunday. And, like, I wanted to do live streams. I don't know. It kind of goes with that. There's a bunch of games I want to play, but there's not really many videos I want to make right now because I'm kind of in the process of playing them. For instance, Guild Wars 2, I want to eventually make a how was the expansion video, but I'm midway through it. So if I do more Guild Wars 2 content, it's probably going to be a live stream. Final Fantasy XIV, I could probably make some videos about stuff, but I also just really wanted to progress the MSQ. And I've been enjoying the live streams a bit more for MSQ play. I think more enjoyable. Oh, we've got everyone back here. Okay, welcome back, Conrad and Marshall Tarupin. Came to render aid, but I hear that won't be necessary. It won't. Sri Lakshmi is gone. But I should probably start at the beginning. Oh, they're gonna do the fade out. Yeah, I like this, that they don't have to repeat everything. It's smart. A smart way to get through things. Incredible. I don't know what to say. If you hadn't been there to stop her, who knows where it would have ended up. You've saved a lot of lives, Seesaw. Take pride in that. It must be said that this is something of an unprecedented situation. Previous summonings were, to my knowledge, planned well in advance by tribes as a whole. Indeed, there are several aspects of this incident which bear further investigation. In any event, the Kalyana's supply of crystals must remain limited for the foreseeable future, and ambient ether levels closely observed. Understood. The Alliance will consult... Oh, dang it. I clicked too quickly. Thank you, Vice Marshal. To other matters, then, what news of the Imperials? Actually, this is a good question, because you guys have a lot of knowledge of Final Fantasy. If you do skip a dialogue box by accident, if you accidentally click, is there a way to go back to the last dialogue box? Like, is there some sort of command or click you can do? Or do you just have to restart the thing? None, which itself is troubling. It seems as though the skulls and the remainder of the garrison have fully withdrawn into the peaks. We've seen neither hide nor hair of them since Velodiania. Regardless of the reasons, our path is clear. Father has decided this is the time to advance east. Cameron says it's all in the chat window. Oh, you can go to the chat window after. That's okay. It's in the other chat. So, like, yeah, under, like, the TinyBlueGames, the chat box, essentially. You change your chat log to the event tab, and you can read it. Okay, the chat log seems to be the place to go. So no way to go back in the cutscene, but you can kind of see it afterwards. Thank you for the tips. The text should show up in the chat. Okay, I'll take a look after. I'll take a look. Thank you for all the answers. This was the right resource to ask. Regardless of the reasons, our path is clear. Oh, Father has decided to go east. Finally! He has also most empathetic that you be spared further duties for the present. You are to rest. It would not do for the warrior of light to collapse from exhaustion during the march. We may not be as strong or as quick as him, but we are soldiers nonetheless. We can deal with the Imperials. Aye, you've earned the respite, so enjoy it. And the same goes for you, Manago. You've been away from your family too long. Don't deny it. As you say, sir. Thank you. We'll make the most of our time here. So nice. Olaf says you can hit enter in the cutscene. Oh, and enter will go back? I should have tried that. I'll have to try it. You can open the log. So I'm just going to look at my chat box. To event. Yeah, so event does it. That's cool. No, okay, that'll work if I miss too much. I'll have to try the enter thing. Unless you mean you can hit enter to like go to the next piece of the dialogue. I don't know. We'll test things out. Olaf says it'll bring chat up, but you won't be able to make it go away until the end of this. Oh, sorry. You can bring up the chat box in the cutscene. I see. I see what you guys are saying. German says I usually press enter then escape just after I go into the cutscene, so my chat box is up the whole time. Interesting. You can hide it by the right click. Okay. There's a lot I didn't know, apparently. I mean, main thing is I'll just try not to, like, accidentally click forward while watching cutscenes, but we'll see if that happens. Also, the chat's super active today. This is awesome. Let me just see how many people we got checking things out. We got 12 viewers. Awesome. If you do have the time to toss a like to the live stream, that does help YouTube kind of bring it out and show it to other people. That way, if anyone's not gotten a notification, they get one, so it's greatly appreciated. Obviously, if you do not like me or the live stream, don't feel inclined to do so. Look at this. We got a hiding iced bun up here. I like it. All right. Looks like it's up to me and mine to give you a proper welcome. My goodness. My mother prepared a special meal for the occasion, and I have it on good authority that hers is the finest cooking this side of Vendalonia. Wow. Oh, it's going to be kind of like one of those quiet... Like, this is what I love so much about Final Fantasies, the ups and the downs, like these slow parts. Like, it just makes it so down to earth. Like, people have to eat, right? Honored guests, I pray you partake of our humble offerings as we give thanks for your many valiant deeds. Ooh, looks tasty. Thank you, sir, from this warm welcome. We are honored to break bread with you and your family. Come, eat your fill of our food and drink deep of our spirits. There is more than enough for all. Well, when you put it that way, don't mind if I do. So nice. It's such, like, warming music. I don't know. It's just a good time. Without quiet, there can be no loud. Exactly, Yoroku. It's exactly how it feels. She wasn't kidding when she said her mother could cook. You know, seeing her with her family, I can't help thinking of my own. How my father would come home from a hunt with dinner on his shoulder, and Ida would prepare it with herbs and spices. Our mother died when I was little, so she did most of the cooking. We didn't have much, but we had each other, and that was enough for me. But they wouldn't let us have that even. Theodoric, Gaius, of course father and Ida had to fight. I would have too if I'd been older, but they didn't have to die. It never ends, does it? They call us beasts and they treat us like them. They push, and until someone pushes back. Until someone takes up arms or summons a god, a false god. If the 12 are watching us, what are they thinking? Rob says, really enjoying your playthroughs. Nice to have someone that is enjoying the game and not just rushing through it. The story is so important in this game. The story is so important in a lot of games, I think, that people want to feel invested in. But yeah, obviously Final Fantasy, like, I think it would be hard to enjoy the game, or at least for me, without the story. The story is really anchored the enjoyment of this game, because I think it's where a lot of the passion comes through. And to be fair, I haven't done the end game, so there's a lot of systems that I think have passion in them there, a lot of raids, a lot of encounters and stuff like that. But for the leveling experience, I say the story is where the passion comes through. So no, I've really been enjoying it, and thanks for the kind words, Rob. God, the music's getting emotional while I was saying that too. What are they thinking when they see the strong hurt the weak? When people fight and die and nothing gets better, and it just goes on and on and on. Oh, we get to choose. There is no justice, just us. Huh, I like it. You'd have to ask them, or just dot. I like the first one. A little bit snazzy with our words, you know? Bit of a wordsmith. Our cute little Lala. I know. That's why we're here, isn't it? Thanks for listening. I know I was just rambling, but I feel better somehow. It's venting. You always feel better when you vent. Who knows what the answers are, or even if there are any. Either way, life goes on, and we've got to go with it. Sorry, that sounded better in my head. I must be getting tired. Time to turn in, I think. Tomorrow's another day, eh? Let's see what it brings. Sleep well, Seesaw. There we go. Oh, so nice. So nice. No, I think story is... So I'm just going to have some water. A lot more talking in this game than... I've been doing Guild Wars 2 story, and pretty much everything in that's voiced. Not that I've been streaming it. I mean, I streamed it the first day, but like there just isn't as much talking, or reading, I guess. It's kind of nice to read and really take your time, but I do think that's where people often skip, is if it's something they have to read, they sometimes get impatient. There is something to be said for a home-cooked meal, is there not? We must cherish these moments, fleeting as they are. The fight will always be there, waiting for us to return. And I know I'm not the best at reading these. I've seen some people make YouTube videos or streams where they do quite the voices and stuff like that, and I'm always impressed. Zakuro says, oh yeah, it is rough on my voice too. Gotta get the tea ready to soothe your throat. Yeah. I mean, when I'm alone, I don't at least read it out loud, or you often don't. I find like I do sometimes read out like a quest or like a dialogue if I don't understand it the first time. I do that with emails too, like at work. If I don't understand what someone's trying to say, I'll try and like read it out loud to like piece it apart. But yeah. Anyways, that's a bit about me. All right, Alphano, let's see. Alphano hopes you are ready to rejoin the main host. I trust you are well rested and refreshed, yes? Then let us return to the front. The greater part of the Alliance forces should have advanced into the peaks by now, but I expect we will pass many of our comrades on the road east. There is a checkpoint along the way, as I recall, but we will need only to identify ourselves to the soldiers in order to pass. Alright, are we moving to a different map? Or, I guess just more east in this map? Yeah, there's the peaks over there. Or is that the checkpoint? I don't know. Is there another map? Can we go... Yeah, so we're gonna go into... Oh, the peaks is the map. That's funny. Yeah, we haven't been in here, right? We've been to Ralgar's Reach. Oh, maybe we have been into this side of the peaks. Yeah, so it's like the lower side of the peaks that we haven't been into. It's kind of like a dual part of the map. Interesting. All right. I like how like many hills there are in this map, but I often just like leap off and go down to 1 health and hope something doesn't attack me. Nope. I think we're gonna be okay. We'll find out. I also like don't know if this is the right way. That was a big elephant. Yeah, this doesn't look right. I think I went the wrong way. Oh gosh, I got the elephant on me. Oh man. Run away! What did I not attune to? Oh, did I not attune to this? No, I did attune to that. Oh, I didn't attune to something in the the peaks. Yeah, that was bad, but that was past Chris. We don't have to worry about that. It wasn't today. We'll tune to it. Don't worry, Olaf. Don't worry. I might forget. We'll see. Try and remind me. Scions, a pleasure to have you with us again. You'll be happy to hear we've taken Algiri, and we've already begun fortifying it as our new base of operations in the peaks. Give a shout to the lads as you pass by, eh? There's a lot of A talk in this. Like, I don't know if there's a bit of Canadian coming through here, but I like it. Zirko says, yep, you just didn't attune to the first part, lol. Alright, everyone's upset about it. Apparently I'm just kind of bad. Oh, I love these entrances.
I remember how they laughed. Alliance and resistance soldiers, eager for battle, trading jokes as we marched east towards the peaks. Beyond this last line of defenses lay the locks and the city. Breaching it would be no small feat. But we beat the Imperials back, just like that. And we liberated a village, the first of many.
So cool. I swear, those like entrance narrations are one of the coolest parts of the expansions for Final Fantasy XIV. It's just like it sets such the tone when you walk into a map. I think it's really cool. And I know I go on about them every time they happen, but I'm gonna keep going on about them. So Meniko says, as you can see, this part of the peaks is much higher than the northern reaches, hence why the Imperials built Specula Imperatoris where they did. See those 3 towers to the east? That's her. Sits right on the edge of the cliff, so attacking from the north is a fool's errand. From the south, on the other hand, she's no different from any other Imperial installation. You see now why Vildonia was so important, eh? Right? Then, come along. They're waiting for us in Algiri. So we were in that part of the map down there where it wouldn't make sense to attack these 3 towers, but now we're going to attack from the other side. That is my summary of what's going on. All right, wow, this is that's a dungeon. See if that's on the radar for today or not. What's that blue? Is it like a dragon? Or what is that back there? Something glowy in the background. I doubt it's a dragon, but like a statue almost? I don't know what it is. Terminus says, yeah, the narration are a really cool part of the game. Always a cool thing to see in a new zone. It for sure is. And like what I'd say is I've been doing the Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons expansion story. And I'd say their story is really like this expansion for Guild Wars 2 is another level for this story. It's been incredible to go through. And I'm just actively comparing it to Final Fantasy because I think those 2 games in terms of story content are the only 2 that can compete at this point. I'd say Final Fantasy has still had more interesting and like more depth to the story, but I'd say Guild Wars 2 has presented the story in a more interesting way, specifically with the pretty much everything being voice acted, including the actual character. But I'd still say that that narration when you go into the new zones is something cool that Final Fantasy does. So I don't know. I think honestly, if someone was to ask me for an MMO recommendation in 2022, I'd say play Final Fantasy and Guild Wars 2. Like you couldn't be disappointed if that was your combo. And it would be a pretty easy combo because you'd have the sub fee for Final Fantasy. Guild Wars 2 is buy to play, so you'd have to pay occasionally for expansions and stuff like that. But otherwise, you just have it. And they both kind of give that feeling that you should play through the content when it's new and then take a break. And that allows them to play the different games. Final Fantasy, you have that vertical progression and more of that... character growth in terms of stats and stuff if you want. Guild Wars 2, you have more of that open world exploration side of things. Like, they're just games that jive so well, and then they obviously align on having the story be such an important part. Cameron says, I think it's just a big crystal. The ones like in Thalion. So you're saying it's not a dragon that's going to come get me. All right. We'll see. I don't believe it yet, but we'll see. We'll see. Monego says, here we are, the new base of operations for the Alliance and the Resistance. Ah, there you are. Greetings, General. I see you have been quite busy in our absence. Yuriko says, yeah, I also recommend Final Fantasy plus Guild Wars 2 to people who ask for recommendations. Yeah, I think it's just, it's a very safe recommendation. Zirko says, you mean the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy with the free trial? Yeah. Do you guys enjoy that in the WoW versus Guild Wars 2 video? I did a little shout out to Final Fantasy there. I had some fun with the animation. It was a bigger project for sure. I don't know if I did like the best voice for it. It kind of trailed off at the end, but it was a fun little add to that video. Olaf says, I restarted my WoW sub after 11 months off. I enjoy completing 9.1 and 9.2, but now I'm waiting for more story release each week, and the feeling of chores are back. At least with Final Fantasy XIV, I have time to play some Guild Wars 2 and ESO. WoW is very demanding. I don't think I'm going to play 9.2. I obviously played 9.0 and 9.1. My sub lapsed a couple months ago, and I'm like, I don't know, it's more of the same. Like, and I'm not someone who, because there are people out there that just hope WoW fails and hopes that everything, and I get it with their company. I'm not talking about Blizzard and their culture, and we'll see what Microsoft does with that. But just the game, they hope that WoW dies, which, I don't know. I think it's always good to have more competition. WoW pushed Final Fantasy to be the great game it is. Like, they played the long game, and they are the kings because of it. So I think it's good to have that continuous competition. So I don't know. All this to say, I'm not playing 9.2. I don't know what my future for WoW is. We'll see. But very interesting, Olaf. And then Olaf says, at least with Final Fantasy XIV, I have time to play some Guild Wars 2 and ESO. WoW is... Oh, yeah, sorry, I already read that. It's my bad. But yeah, no, I get it for sure. Raban says, less than you might imagine. The Imperials fled at our coming, and we took the village without a fight. Your timing is... That's kind of suspicious, isn't it? Your timing is impeccable. We are about to discuss our strategy to seize the Specula Imperatrix. I don't know if that's how you say it, but there you go. Though we are fresh from the road, we should be glad to attend. Good. Take a moment to gather yourselves and join us when you are ready. Zero says, tribalism is so weird like that. Competition breeds innovation. Exactly. And I think there is so much of that, unfortunately, in MMORPGs, and it made more sense to me back 15 years ago when there was only a few games that were exceptional, but there is so many good games, and I think it's just become easier to play multiple... Wow, the background music's getting really loud. Let's see if it gets quieter in here, or else I might have to adjust things. We'll see. Olaf says, I had a token... I might just turn down the music a little bit, just a little bit. System configuration. Yeah. This is probably the BGM. Yeah, we'll turn that down a bit because that was getting too much. Olaf says I had a token money from a year ago on my account, so I at least didn't pay for it. I really wanted it to succeed, but I tried 9.2 and it wasn't for me. I played it since TBC, so it's a little heartbreaking. Yeah, it is heartbreaking. And the hardest part about it, and I'm not gonna go off on too many WoW tangents here, is that honestly, if they just didn't spend so much time trying to change the game, it would be a lot better. Like, if 10.0 is us returning to Azeroth, and many years have passed, and it's about just rediscovering the normal areas of WoW, like very down-to-earth storyline, and there was no additional systems like Covenants or Torghast or anything like that. They spent all of that time making the world, the quests, and more raids and dungeons, and that was it? That was everything? They would probably succeed with most of their audience. I don't know who would be in that expansion saying, this is great, but I'm not going to play because there's no Torghast. Like, if they see that in their, cancellation things for the subs, that people are like, ah, man, it was great, but there's no Torghast, I apologize, but I don't know how common that's going to be. So yeah, we'll have to see. Oh, Farrell says, hello, chat. Hello, Seesaw. Hello, Farrell. Hopefully you're having a good Sunday. Thank you for joining us on this lovely day. I should have mentioned this at the start. So we're going to do a 90-minute stream as per usual for anyone who's or I guess for anyone who's new here, we usually do 90-minute streams. So about another hour, probably, I'll be playing. And we've made a bit of progress so far. I haven't gotten too distracted yet. Well, you heard the Flame General. Looks like we've got a meeting to attend. All right, I don't know how necessary. Oh, and Zakuro is over here. Hello, Zakuro. Let's give a wave. Did not type wave properly. There we go. Take two. There you go, Zakuro. And Ice Buns over here. People are just all by. I love it. I love how they just keep showing up more and more throughout this. And the first thing I'm going to do, don't you even worry about it, is attune to this. So there can't be any comments about it, right? Right? Where are we going? There's Rebon. Wow, it's a pretty cool little city. Oh, wow. The crystals was quite the crystal. Look at that. All right. That's pretty cool. And where are we? So we're down here. Huh. I'm a fan. Olaf says, sorry, lol. I'll stay off on a Final Fantasy XIV topic. I just love MMOs in general and try. No, Olaf, you're doing the right thing. I love talking about other MMOs as well. I just know there's been talk about how I sometimes get distracted and only get through 5 MSQ quests in 90 minutes on these streams, and I'm trying to do better at that. But I love talking about MMOs as well. I actually wonder if I should do a live stream one day where it is like one of my comparison videos but a live stream. So we like just chat about a different game every so often, kind of flip through them. I don't know. I don't know how it would work, because I also don't know like if it would be fun to switch between games on stream, but it's an interesting thought. Cameron says, good job remembering to attune. Thank you. It's the little things. It's the little things. That's everyone. Then let us begin. Alagiri is ours, and for a mercy we took it without losing a single man, but we dare not grow complacent. Specula Imperatoris will not be so easily won. I wonder if that's the dungeon. If I may, General, should we not pause to consider the Imperial's motives? For Xenos to surrender a forfeited settlement of strategic importance without so much as firing a shot? Inexplicable. Thank you, Alphano. This was my comment. Suspicious. This game is known for having these kind of twists to them. The amount of drinks that have poisoned me or something, I don't trust things in this story. I don't. We searched the village and found no traps or other signs of sabotage, suspicious though it may be. I will not refuse this gift from our enemy. The path to Alamigo is through the east, through Specula Imperatoris and Castrum Abania. It bears repeating, however, the latter is home to a massive cannon with unparalleled range and destructive power. Oh, that's concerning. Which means that we will need to strike Specula Imperatoris quickly, both to limit their ability to locate our forces in the field and to utilize the installation as a shield against attacks, as they would doubtless not risk damaging the towers. Zukuro says, oh, that sounds like fun. Maybe make it like a podcast with the videos instead of switching between games. Oh, that could be cool. Like doing, yeah, that could be fun. I don't know. I'll have to think about it because that could be a lot of fun. I do think it's an interesting live stream. Or I could be like one of those professional streamers that like makes a video during a live stream and like has chat's input in it, you know? I could do that, right? I could make that happen. I don't know. It could be interesting. Yurko says another idea is the kind of just chatting stream where you play something that's simple and doesn't require you to pay too much attention and just have a chat with viewers. Yeah, that's also fun. And maybe if I do another Guild Wars 2 stream near the end of the story, or like the part of the story where I'm just going through the maps and like completing it, because that's a pretty big part of Guild Wars 2, that might be a fun stream. Like, so after the story, I guess is what I'm saying. But who knows? Or I could do it while leveling my Dark Knight, right? That's what the tank is called in this game, right? Because I've been pointed out a few times that I need to level that character up for the end of Stormblood, or for the start of not Shadowlands. The start. Wow, I'm getting all over the place. Shadowbringer. My goodness, how dare I? So maybe if I'm just leveling during a stream, that could be a good idea. Dark Knight is one of the tanks. Yes, thank you. I was gonna call it Dragon Knight. I might have played a little bit of MapleStory in the past month as well. I don't know. I'm all over the place for MMOs. I'm sorry. It's what I am. Alphano says, I see. Then we have no choice but to accept what we have been given. That's the way of it. I've no doubt that Xenos has got something planned, but we'll have to deal with it when the time comes. To the assault, then. The main host will commence a direct assault on Specula Imperatoris. During this time, I would hold the Scions in reserve at Algiri to deal with any Imperial forces that may be dispatched in response. I need water. I can feel it. I can feel my voice dying. I knew it was going to be a lot of reading today. I just knew it. Understood. Wait a minute. We should be fighting with you and the Resistance. I understand you don't want to rely too much on Seesaw after what he's been through, but at least let the rest of us do our part. If she wants to fight, I say let her fight, yeah. Thanks. I knew you'd understand. Zukuro says, "Oh, that would be good too. You can have us back up so it's easier on the gameplay." That's true. You're suggesting I could be carried through some dungeons? That could be a good way to level. And carried through some of the battlegrounds too, no doubt. Farrell says, leveling Dark Knight while chatting sounds... Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. And I've done a few videos that's like kind of just level Dark Knight and chill, so it might be fun as a chatting stream. Oh, good, if you must. The two of us can take care of ourselves. Or, oh, go if you must, I feel like it said. You have your orders. Dismissed. Olaf says, oh, I like that idea. Okay, apparently it's popular. Maybe I will do that. That'll be my sneaky way of leveling my Dark Knight, too. Oh, meanwhile, deep in the Imperial Research Facility. Oh my goodness, they took one of our friends, didn't they? I completely forgot about that. Wow, I am a bad scion. This looks like something. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh man, she's being like a part of this? Oh my gosh.
My head.
This took a turn.
Let us see. So, she lives. Impressive. Or merely lucky, though that too may prove a useful trait.
Wow.
My lord, what have you done to me?
That's what we're all wondering. Did she put Kryle's energy into...
We Guardians are intellectually and physiologically superior in almost all respects. We lack the hereditary traits required for the reliable manipulation of ether, hence our unique inability to wield magics. This deficiency, for want of a better word, saw us subjected to decades of oppression by the lesser races, and we were eventually driven to seek shelter in the cold northern reaches of Ilsabard.
Okay.
Fortunately, said region was replete with vast deposits of ceruleum, which proved instrumental in the development of Magitech, a revolutionary technology conceived to compensate for our disadvantage. It was with Magitech that we grew strong, that our nation became an empire. Yet, ultimately, this was an extrinsic solution to an intrinsic problem. What I wanted was not a crude device to be used in lieu of magic.
This guy's glasses are wild. They're like upside down. Like they've got like, because like sometimes you have the frame like on the top, I think, but this looks really interesting. I will just take a look at the chat quickly. Yurko says, heck, you could even do a double duty with it and use the stream footage as B-roll. I could. Wouldn't that be crafty of me? Kerman says, poor Kryle, they put her in a box. They did. They put her in a box.
Through modification of the Garlean genome, I argued that it might be possible to enhance a subject's ability to manipulate ether, effectively empowering them to wield magics. Alas, my theories were met with consternation in the Imperial Court.
Could you imagine?
Only Lord Xenos, with commendable foresight and wisdom, deigned to support my research.
I mean, he's the person that
You
you
gave me
want.
this treatment, but I'm not Garlean.
It's a good point, too.
Alamegan, through and through. What you have been granted is far greater than mere magic. Before that lesser light, it is as a second sun.
I am informed that Alagiri was recently occupied by the Resistance, and that an attack on Specular Imperatoris is considered imminent. This could provide an ideal opportunity to test her performance in the field.
Oh, interesting.
Your skulls, was it? They have joined the garrison at the Watchtower?
Yes, my lord. By your leave, I would rendezvous with them and lead a counterattack against the insurgents.
She's definitely going to be like a boss in like this dungeon or whatever.
No. Even were you to leave now, you would not arrive in time. There is another duty I would entrust to you.
This is what I like about these stories, is that they take these twists that I was not expecting this to be done with Kryle at all. Also, is Kryle like dead then? Like, or did she just take some of Kryle's power? Because like, don't know if I can suffer another loss yet. Oh, look who it is.
Found you.
He's good at getting into places. Wow, things are getting spooky. Like I was just standing on the table for that whole meeting, apparently. So full of fire and eager, weren't they? Well, I wouldn't worry too much. They're strong and they have each other. At least he spared me the trouble of having to speak up. I wasn't about to let Lise go alone. Let's grab that. Zakuro says, oh, those body shape bags around the machine seem fine. You mean I should have been more concerned about that? You think they want more scions in there? We have a fair bit of ground to cover, so we should split up. If you come across any Imperial soldiers, you know what to do. Oh, and so you know, I sent word to Arvanald's squadron. They are already searching other areas, nearby areas, so we have allies in the event we encounter anything beyond our means. Nice. Very nice. Thinkert has a PhD in sneaking. I would say that's pretty accurate. He's also a smooth talker. Oh, it's these stupid. I'm so bad at seeing these red circles. I don't know what the deal is. Well, I do know what the deal is. My color detection is real bad. I recently went to get my eyes checked, and you know those maybe I already told the story. I don't know. It happens every time, and I'm always shocked. But the little cards where they have like the dots and like the numbers in it, and it's like the test color blindness. I get like the first one right, and then it's all downhill. It's just, and like I'd say I have no issues in day-to-day activities. It's just certain very specific close colors, and this is one of them. What are we looking for here? Patrol for Imperial forces. Oh, I found a Zakuro. You're not an Imperial, I don't think. Okay, like, where am I supposed to go, Zakuro? Is it up here? No, it says it's down, doesn't it? Is there something I'm supposed to push? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, I guess it's technically in the right spot. Oh, I should have summoned my, my lovely creature. There we go. Do 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 do. Deke, dodge, dive. I don't know if it's wise to do AoE attacks with this few people. I feel like it might be like 3 or more, but we've committed to it at this point, so we're just going to go for it. At 1 left, we will go back to just doing single target damage. We should do a fair bit of damage. Nice. Alright, well that was pretty easy. Did I have troubles finding them? Not at all. Let's go this way. Oh, so do you get like a diagnosis, like a mild form of like oh my goodness, of detralomany? I'm guessing this is like some sort of colorblind medical term. Detranomaly. I've never, I don't know. They've never done anything. So I don't know what, like if it's not bad enough for them to do anything. I don't know what the story is. I feel like they check it every time because it's like not great, and maybe they're trying to see if it gets worse or if it stays the same or what the deal is, but I don't know. Like I say, in most interactions in my life, it is not an issue. The only times it becomes an issue is like this map, the red and the orange does it for me. Or occasionally, like if there was a shirt that was like purple, I might think it looks gray. Like if it was like a very, very close to, I don't know. Just things people don't need to know about me, but I like to share about them, or with them. But no, I wouldn't say I've had any like diagnosis, like, or at least not that I've remembered. And the word you shared with me feels like a word I've never seen in my life, and I feel like I would have if it was something I had, but maybe that's wrong. Maybe they have told me that and I've been like, huh. Yurko says, yeah, for most people, they get by just fine with without any issues. Many people with mild color blindness don't even realize they have it. Yeah, and I wouldn't say I don't realize it until I do those tests. And then I'm like, can other people see like all these fine? Like, is it actually like this bad for me? Give me a moment, Seesaw. Say that again if you would. No, maintain your distance for now. Understood. Keep me apprised of any developments. That was Arnevold. The pair that was spying on us in the fringes has followed us here. What about you, Seesaw? Any trouble? I like how close I'm standing to have this conversation. Like this is how I have conversations. And there I was thinking we might be due for some space and peace and quiet. Glad to hear that you dealt with them. I hope the assault on Specula Imperatorius goes well. Are these? Let's just grab those, I guess. Oh man, this is cool. I've been a fan of the cutscenes in this expansion as well. I think they've done a really good job. Oh, I thought he cut his arm off, and I was like, oh no, he actually doesn't have an arm. I mean, he just got cut in half, essentially. Dang. Oh. Hey, Pippin. Right?
You've improved, lad.
Come now, father. You lured the fool onto my blade, and do not try to deny it.
That's pretty cool. Now, like, I know Pippin is the son, but, like, he's, like, an adopted son, right? Like, I mean, that must be the case, right? How does this work? I don't know. I forget the backstory here.
Our work here
It's
is
like,
all but done.
He's a Lalafell.
What of Conrad and his men?
Yeah, he's adopted. makes sense.
The skulls have offered fierce resistance thus far, but Conrad seems to believe he can convince them to lay down their arms.
I assumed that was the case. I was just making sure I hadn't forgotten anything particularly strange.
Then we will tend to the stragglers down below. With me.
Yes, adopted. The backstory is in a short story on the main website. Interesting. Because, yeah, I don't remember. Like, I obviously remember Pippin showing up, I think at the end of A Realm Reborn is where he kind of shows up. But I don't remember a ton explaining stuff. And then from that point, I just remember, okay, he's the son. But, you know. It's a really cool relationship. It's a very cool looking area with like these mountain or dunes, I guess, kind of thing.
Report.
Enemy forces have overrun the lower facilities and appear to be mounting an assault on the main tower. We have already received a request for reinforcements. A unit of legionaries has been mustered and is ready to depart. They await your orders, Commander.
Stand down.
Stand down.
Commander?
Tell them to stand down.
Oh, man, she wants to like 1v1 us.
Commander, if I may, our people, your people are still in there. They will be slaughtered.
You think I don't know that? I want nothing more than to help them. To lead the bloody charge. but I have my orders. Lord Xenos said no reinforcements. He would have us use the main cannon to destroy the installation.
What? Kill our own soldiers? You must be mistaken.
Man, this is getting dark.
Mayhap you'd like to ask Lord Xenos yourself.
I like how she barely audible when she said that. This is cool.
I thought not. Initiate the firing sequence.
I kind of want to see what like magic she has. I'm just envisioning she's gonna like force choke someone like Star Wars style, but I doubt that's actually how this is gonna play out. Cameron says I should get around to reading all those short stories. Farrell says, yeah, Pippin makes a great son to the Flame General. Zero Crow says the stories are really good. Make sure you don't read too far to spoil yourself. Yeah, I guess that would be an issue. Though I'd assume they're pretty well labeled as to where they fit in the story, maybe? I
Wars
don't know.
are won on the backs of the dead. Theirs and ours. There is no truth but this. We must remain firm and resolute and always, always do our duty. Now, give the order.
Initiate firing sequence.
Oh man, that's gonna be wild.
Aye, aye. Initiating firing sequence. Release safety locks. Deploy main cannon.
Wait, is Pippin in danger?
For us, for our people, for our future.
I need you to confirm the target, Commander.
Specula Imperatoris, main tower. Fire when ready.
Wow, I was not expecting this. Wait, she can have the echo now. Where's this cannon? Oh, is this? No, that's moving. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's quite the cannon. Dang.
What in the seven hells?
Oh yeah, they are there.
Long-range artillery.
Those treacherous bastards. Their people were still fighting. Full retreat. Now! Relay the orders!
Understood.
Like how everyone's just standing.
All forces retreat! I repeat, all forces retreat!
Oh man. Oh gosh, not Pippin. Dang. By the 12, did you see that? The main tower just collapsed. You heard it too, didn't you? I must have been the cannon at Castrum Abania, but that was an Imperial installation, and their troops were still... Damn it. No one's responding. I don't know if the shell is being jammed or... We have to go right now. They need our help. Caravan with the kabloom. It did go kabloom indeed. Heavens Weep. Interesting. This way, there's no time to lose. Boop, boop. Where are we off to? Gosh, I love this car. Man, this bug looks terrifying. Gonna try and like stay far to the side. Oh no, it still got me. Gross. Zakuro says, hope your scholar skills are ready to do some healing. Oh, why do why do my scholar skills need to be ready to do some healing, Zakuro? It's worse than it looks. He probably wasn't even... Pull yourself together. The gate. It's our way inside. We need to find my brother right now. Oh, Alphinaud was in there. Wow, this is quite the outfit you got there. Or like lack thereof outfit. Like, my goodness. The lock on the massive gate appeared to have been disabled. You need only prise them open to go through. Okay. Oh man. Who do we got here? Is this Pippin? I think that's Pippin. Could you imagine if he lost his other arm? Like, I'm not saying they should do it, but it would be an interesting, like kind of Monty Python thing that he keeps losing body parts and like continues fighting and is like still like the best fighter out of everyone. I think that'd be good. As Zirko says, have been watching your dungeon runs, so I guess, so I just guess it is your healer. It is your only healer. Oh, I see. It is, I think, my only healer. But I'm only using that healer for the ARR dungeons that I go back and do. I feel like I do like this dungeon as a samurai still. What's this icon here? Heaven's Weep. Oh, is it just saying to go here? So we'll do more healing when we do some more of the Sprout Returns to Harder content, which is not a great name for the series, but it's apparently the best name I have for it. But I think I have been improving as a healer, at least in the last two. I've been a little bit more aware of things, at least from my point of view. Glad you're here, Seesaw. In case it wasn't obvious, the Imperials fired upon us on Specula Imperatorus. I didn't think they had it in them to kill their own men just to kill us. Gods damn them all. Where's my brother? Tell me where he is. I want to see him. He was in the tower when it was struck, but that need not mean anything. Our forces are still evacuating, and many remain unaccounted for. I mean, that kind of means a fair bet. Alize, listen. There are soldiers wounded and dying all around us, soldiers with families just like you and me. They need our help. Do you understand? He's right. I'll take the north, you take the east. Oh man, this is wild. I hope I'm pretty sure Alphinaud's gonna be okay. I feel like he's too much of a main character to like not be okay. Thank you. I think I can manage on my own. What did we just pat them on the back or something? Wounded flame soldier. For a moment there, I thought I was bound for Thal's Great Hall. Ye gods, what were the Imperials thinking? I think it would have been interesting, like, or it still could be interesting if some of the Imperial soldiers join us because of this attack. Like, if it's like, they're like, nah, you fight against us, we're going to join the other side kind of thing. Just give me a moment to let the world stop spinning, would you? There, Algeria's not far. I'll make it. All right. Oh, Northern's here. Hi, how are things going? Just finished raiding. We're doing good. Thanks for joining, Northern. We just witnessed the biggest cannon in game fire, which was pretty interesting to see. And we're dealing with the aftermath, I guess. Now this guy's taking a little bit of extra time to help. Ugh, everything hurts. I think I was struck by the debris from the tower. Wait, I know you. Seesaw. Ward of House Thorn. Oh, he's from Heaven's Word then. Wounded Temple Knight. We fought together on the steps of faith. You saved my back then, and now... That's kind of cool. I can walk, thank you. 1,000 times, thank you. Conrad, can you hear me? Nago, put him down over there. Zikr says, there are fun Easter eggs in Stormblood where you play as a healer. You actually heal in this situation instead of putting them on... Wait, instead of patting them... Oh, I'm being a healer, I see. Instead of... Interesting. Carmen said, so like if you were a healer, you would actually heal them. And now I'm just patting them on the back? Like if... So there are... This is where I'm reading it out loud to make more sense. There's... Where if you play as a healer, so if I was a healer, I'd actually use healing skills to heal them. That's really cool. Carmen says large numbers of Imperial soldiers and the conscripts from conquered regions, so they definitely do get desertations, but they also basically holding their families hostage. So it's less than you think. Okay, so it's kind of hard for them to make that change. I'm standing on the person.
Conrad, speak to me.
Oh, this is the Conrad. I had a feeling he was gonna probably not make it through this.
It was all so sudden.
Oh, Alphino was here.
Conrad had just convinced the last few skulls to surrender when we heard the bang and everything started to shake. We carried the survivors to safety, but Conrad's... We have done what we can for him. All that remains is to pray.
No?
Conrad?
Is that you, Lise? I can't see a damn thing.
I thought I wanted to say he should maybe open his eyes, but that seems insensitive given the situation. Northern says, nice, and I also hope everyone is ready for the Moogle treasure hunt tomorrow. Yes, I've been seeing that. A few people have messaged me directly saying, Seesaw, treasure hunt, just so you know. And I know. We'll see what I do with it. No, I'm excited. I'm excited to do stuff. I should level my Dark Knight and maybe get some treasure at the same time. We'll see if that happens. Zukuro says, and you stepped on him. I did step on him, Zakuro. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's that then. Time's up.
What are you talking about? You'll be on your feet before you know it.
I don't know if that's the case.
It's all right, Lise. I've lived long enough. But listen, I want you to lead the resistance in my stead.
That's what we said should happen.
Don't say another word. You'll recover. We'll recover. We'll bring freedom to Alamigo together. We're not going to stop here.
No, you won't. Everything we've built, everyone we've brought together, I know you'll show them the way. You've got it in you, Lise. Not because you're Curtis's daughter or Ida's sister, but because you're you. Because you're you.
Wow, this is quite well delivered.
Conrad.
It's been such a good expansion for Lise. I really enjoyed the progression of her character.
Lead them to victory. To freedom.
I will, Conrad. I will. I promise.
His little smile. Wow. Oh, meanwhile, in the chaos of Castra Mabania.
Next round, double the charge.
Double the charge. This Xenos at the top here. Oh no! It's Estinian.
We are needed.
Oh man, it's gonna come. This is so cool. He's taking out the cannon.
That's the cerulean pipeline.
Or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Or maybe that's the fuel for it?
Impossible! How can one man... Shoot the bastard! Shoot him!
Just not moving.
My lance has slain far greater beasts.
That's so cool. I'm just gonna catch up on chat. Zakira said, "Oh, and you stepped on him." Oh yeah, and the Little Ladies' Day event too. Yes, I have to pay attention to that as well. Zakira says, the build up to the payoffs in the second half of the has been so good. It really has been. Northern says, "Quick, give him a Phoenix down." Ah, too late. Zakira says, "It's Batman. I mean, Estinian." Caravan says, "He's the man to call when you need something broken." He sure is. I think the coolest part of this is how connected this makes the story feel to the last expansion. I feel like that's such like an issue some games have where there isn't that connection piece, and this is really cool. And they kind of like hinted at it early on, and now it's paying off, which is really cool.
You're welcome, boy.
Boy. Who's he smiling at? Is he talking?
Notify all units! I want that intruder found! And get the engineers to fix my bloody cannon! The savages are coming!
That's so cool. I wonder if we like get to see him or like what the story is. We could have killed them. We could have walked away. But instead we tried to convince them to lay down their arms. We tried to seek a peaceful resolution. We showed them mercy, and this is their response. Fire and blood. This was their answer. Such crimes cannot go unpunished. They must not. Gods as my witness. There will be reckoning. Alpha nodes riled up. Kerman says boy equals Alfie. Wait, so did Alpha know? Oh, like so is Estinian gonna do that and then like not introduce, like he's gonna do this in the shadows kind of thing? He's not gonna come and like help us after all that? It'll be kind of interesting. I kind of want to have a reunion with him, but that's maybe just what I want. Farrell says, yeah, Final Fantasy has always kept things interwoven from previous expansions for future ones. Yeah, I think that's so cool. The road home. Forgive me, now is not the time for vows of vengeance. We must remain calm and rational and in control. The Imperials have demonstrated a willingness to fire on their own. So long as we remain here, we are in danger. We three will see to Commander Kemp's body, find my sister, and return to Aligiri. Where's the sister? I mean, she's not very far away. There, that should suffice for now. Go and join the others. Tell me you found Alpha No. Tell me he's alright. Oh, thank the 12. I don't know what I would have done. Though, saying that, what will the Resistance do without Commander Kemp? Sorry, not here, not now. We should return to Alagiri to keep an eye out for any that are wounded who need our help on the way. Alrighty. So what, we're gonna go down this way. I thought this was gonna be a dungeon, but apparently the dungeon's somewhere else, so it'll be interesting to see what is the dungeon. Ares Crystal says, are you going to give Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise a play when it comes out on Friday? Strangers of Paradise? I mean, so probably not. I play this game as an MMO first and as, I guess, Final Fantasy second, though, I mean, I have enjoyed the Final Fantasy aspects of it. All this to say, I've not played other Final Fantasy or other Final Fantasy games. And more to that, I don't really play many, like, non-MMO games, so I don't think I will, but it's interesting to hear that there's a game coming out. Are you excited to play it, Ares? And what has you excited for it? Pant. It wasn't long ago I was trying to kill you and yours. I have half expected you were about to slit my throat. To hells with this. I should go back home to Ilsbred instead of taking fire from my so-called commanders. That looks like there's one over here. I feel like we'll probably just make it back to the camp with all these rescued people, and then we'll probably call the stream there because we got about 15 more minutes, but we'll see. And then I assume we'll kind of be in a nice place to have the dungeon be one of the things we do in another stream, which will be cool. Assuming it comes close. Like, I mean, I see it right there. I'm like, but I guess it could be like quite a ways away still. Who knows? I'm just excited. I'm always excited for a dungeon. Cameron says it's a Dark Souls-like thing, from what I hear. I'll pick it up at some point. That's kind of cool. I've not played any of the Dark Souls games either. Even like for instance, and this is a prime example, the Elden Ring looks spectacular, but I don't play much in the way of first-person, or I guess RPGs. So I don't know. That's probably what means I won't play it really. But it's cool. Thanks, friend. Bloody tourniquet came loose, and I always have trouble getting it back on. I should be fine the rest of the way home. Oh, it's like these weird bug things. Where's this other dude? Hello? Oh, is it over by the tree? Yeah. Oh, so that's either a bush or a person. One of the two. Oh, bless you, kind. Wait, is that you, Seesaw? I didn't recognize you at first. Been feeling a bit dizzy. Must have lost a lot of blood. I can keep going. I can keep going. Okay. Zakuro, oh no, I read Zakuro. Ares says, I wasn't sure you played single-player FF games. I have played them all and enjoy them greatly. Strangers of Paradise takes aspects of the original Final Fantasy and Dark Souls. That's very cool. No, I mean, I've occasionally played single-player games, but I am definitely more of an MMO person on the whole. And particularly right now, I'd say there's been so many MMOs going on that I've just not at all felt interested. Definitely in some of the quieter times, I'm tempted to go and try out some of the single-player games. But yeah, it's cool. And playing through this does make me more interested to play like a different Final Fantasy and check out like some of the stuff that way, because I think it would be cool. But with that said, I may as well finish this or get caught up before I go and venture off into something else. Because with my pace, I've got a significant amount of Final Fantasy XIV left to play. But very cool areas. I'm happy you've got it. It's always like the best thing when you're waiting for a game to come out and it's gonna come out soon. Like that's almost the best part of being a gamer, is kind of waiting for that day to first sink your teeth into it, and then the kind of the honeymoon phase for the while that you start playing it. It's always so fun. Seesaw, we have given our commander camp's remains for safekeeping. Later, I have no idea when rites must needs be performed. For now, however, we must carry on, we must press forward, we must not give into despair. All Alliance and Resistance units have now withdrawn from Specula Imperatoris. It is time we spoke to General Aldlin. Oh, we got a piece of gear at some point, didn't we? Did we not? Maybe it wasn't better. Did I switch something? I feel like I switched something. I don't know if I switched something, but we've checked. Pretty sure it tells you if there's nothing to switch, and it didn't tell me that, so we'll see. Head over here. Irko says, I think Final Fantasy XII is a good bridge game. It's a single-player Final Fantasy game with a combat system fairly close to a traditional tab targeting MMO. That's cool. Olaf says, I found you in 2019, and I sometimes think of that Work to Games interview. I wonder if they're still waiting on your Shadowbringers first impression. Yeah, that was pretty funny. They probably thought they were going to be able to talk to me again. I sometimes pop into Brian's stream when he's doing stuff, because one of the things I like about Work to Game is that they do play other MMOs. Like, for instance, Brian does a lot on Destiny. He does a lot, which I've not played Destiny, but New World and stuff like that. And I'll sometimes jump into those streams because I know he's not going to be playing like Final Fantasy content that I haven't seen yet. And we'll sometimes chat. And like, I do think at some point we're going to have another some sort of interview of them or some sort of talk or something like that, which will be cool. And I think it could be cool to, you know, have my take maybe on Heaven's Ward and Stormblood. Once I get past that, that could be a cool interaction. Though I don't know how many people would really care to hear about that. Otherwise, it'd be cool just to chat about MMOs in general, since we both have a fair bit of interest. But yeah, like I'm so thankful for the introduction they did give. I still remember, because my channel was really small back then. I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw a video that had my TinyBlueGames logo on it that wasn't mine. Like, it was front and center, and it was made by Chris, I think, part of the Work to Games team. And he was making a series where he would introduce new creators that were coming into Final Fantasy XIV. And it was such a welcoming experience. Like, I saw that video, I watched it, it was so kind, and then they invited me to the interview, and that was so kind. And it was just really fun talking with them. And the behind the scenes of it is that we did it with face cams revealed, so they know my lovely face. And we kind of chatted, like, just because it's easier to chat like that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I don't know, I look forward to doing that. I think interacting with other content creators is one of my favorite things to do. For instance, I'll often go into Guild Wars 2 streams that people do. Like, I go into some of Kroof's streams and chat with her, or I'll go into other streams as well, and it's just a lot of fun. I guess I'll do Rauban's thing. These deaths weigh heavy on my soul. Commander Kemp's most of all. He was a wise leader, he was a patriot, but above all else, he was a good man who will be sorely missed. One of many lost this day. I ask for a moment's silence to pray for his soul and to depart. We have suffered a grievous defeat, but we can not all, and will not renounce his cause. The die has been cast. Hold tight to this grief, this anger, and we will drive for. It'll drive you forward. Let it be your strength and your shield when you next face the enemy. I'm just going to catch up on chat a little bit. Aries says Final Fantasy XII looks took the battle system from Final Fantasy MMO FF11, so it plays a lot like an MMO. That's really cool. Zirko says, oh yeah, most of my guild is taking a break from Final Fantasy XIV to play the new Destiny expansion. That's very cool. It's interesting though, because like, I don't know. Shooters and MMOs, like, I don't know. I've just never... I'm tempted whenever I watch Destiny stuff, but then I'm like, do I want to do that? I don't know. I feel like one day I'll probably try it, but it's cool that your guild's enjoying it. And I've heard lots of good things about it. Aries says, of course, the good thing about Final Fantasy XIV is that you can play for 2 hours a day and feel accomplished. I remember wasting a whole weekend playing Final Fantasy XI. That's the thing with these older games. It's a little bit tricky. Northern says, oh, by the way, fancy another talk like last time. I think I would like to chat more about MMOs and basically catching up in MMOs. Yeah, so me and Northern had a nice chat in Discord where we had a few questions about like general MMOs and comparing Final Fantasy XIV, which was a lot of fun. I don't know if you were here for the start of the stream, Northern, but we were discussing the idea of doing kind of a very chill stream where like I'm just leveling my Dark Knight or something like that, and the main purpose is to just like ask questions and like talk about general MMOs while I'm doing something more chill, because I mentioned the difficulty with the MSQ streams is that people want me to continue the MSQ, and I already go slow enough, so asking questions can be difficult. So that would maybe be a cool way to do it, but obviously I'm always open to chatting on Discord too. That was a lot of fun last time, so always a good time. Farrell says 90 minutes goes by so quick. It really does. It does. However, my voice, I can already feel. I don't know how streamers do like 8-hour days. I don't know. Like I know they take breaks and they mix in some React content and stuff like that to try and like give them some time. But I don't know. I feel like I'd have to like warm up before it, and I feel like it's something you get used to probably. Like, you know, if you do it a lot, you might learn, kind of like how actors and stuff like that probably have ways to maintain their voice and not lose it as quickly. Maybe how you project or something like that. But after 90 minutes, I can definitely feel it. Olaf says, I played Final Fantasy XII and Final Fantasy XIV, and it was interesting to see that it kind of felt like Final Fantasy XIV made with maps and stuff. Sorry, I'm just trying to... The chat keeps moving and stuff, but you get a system like Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy XIII with skills. Oh, very interesting. Northern says, I'll watch the stream back. I was raiding with my FC. No worries at all. And then Northern says, we were doing the new Endwalker Savage raids. Very interesting. Hopefully it went well. I don't know. I think it would be so cool to do like actual progression rating in Final Fantasy XIV, because that's something I really enjoy in World of Warcraft. And it's one of the... If there was a reason for me to ever rush to endgame in Final Fantasy XIV, that's like the #1 reason, is to get into like gearing and rating and that kind of stuff. And I know, you know, when I do get there eventually, there'll be a tier, whatever it is, whatever expansion it ends up being in. But I'm excited to eventually be there for it. Ferris says, where are you on the story? I think at the end of... Well, near the end of Stormblood. I mean, people in chat can probably give you a better approximation, but I'd say I'm 75% done Stormblood. Is that fair, chat? Or am I closer or am I less close? I don't know. I'd say 75% done Stormblood is my guess. Maybe a bit more. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this cutscene. It'll carry us far, General. Of that I have no doubt. Here we take another step towards El Amigo. However, we must first address the question of how to deal with Castrum Abana's cannon. If the Imperials are willing to employ the weapon without thought of their soldiers' safety, we may struggle to approach them. A frontal assault is one of the questions, is out of the question. We'd lose countless men before we even reach the walls. Oh my gosh, I can see chat moving. I have to catch up again. Where were we? We are going to need more than 90 minutes for progression rating. We probably will, Zakuro. And more than 90-minute streams aren't out of the question. I just would have to plan it more in advance, I think. Olaf says there will always be a current tier, and you can always buy old tiers for glams. Ferris says you can prog old raids too. That's fair. Iriko says the cannon just got fired at the tower in the peaks. I guess I could have said that, couldn't I, Iriko? That might have been better. Kerman says a little way off to the level 79 dungeon. Norvin says possibly 2 to 3 hours if you want to try progression raids. I could do it. I'd have to get prepared for it. Zikro says, oh, and we were getting a cross server in 6.18, so hopefully we can do the other 24-man ones. Yes, I saw that's in that new patch that's coming up soon-ish. So as soon as the cross server stuff happens, I think that's like the first stream I want to do is like every Tiny Blue crew member we can get in there, every viewer we can get in there, and try and do a full Tiny Blue Games 24-man raid of the Alliance raids from Heavensward, I believe, because the Crystal Tower is the one from ARR that we've already done. So we'd go to Heavensward, which should be a lot of fun. Would we recall the Imperials could have obliterated our forces, and they kept had they kept firing, but neglected to do so? We had no strategic reason to cease firing, which begs the question, why did they? You suspect they were unable to fire the cannon again, mayhap due to a malfunction. Or one of their officers found this found his conscience after the first barrage, or heretofore unknown resistance faction chose that moment to disable it, which is actually what happened, interestingly. There are many possibilities, but the fact remains they stopped when logic dictated they continue. Then I'll just have to go and see for myself if the cannon is still operational. Are you mad? Karnard put you in charge of the resistance. You can't risk losing another commander so soon. I know how you feel, Nago. I do, but I need you to understand. It wasn't long after Papalaimo and I arrived at Relga's Reach that Conrad first asked me to join the resistance, and then he kept on asking. Every time I said no, I told myself it was because of the Scions, but even then, I knew deep down that it was an excuse, that I was still afraid of following my heart because I could not be sure if it was for me or for Yida. But then I met someone on the other side of the world who had struggled with the same worries, and as we traveled and fought together, I saw him grow and become the leader his people needed him to be. That's oh man, Hien, Lord Hien. So that's very interesting that you kind of learned from that. Olaf says, a meet and greet. Yes, exactly. It'll be a meet and greet. Ferris says, I hope he does the 8-man raid for Stormblood. It's really fun and the music is amazing. Northern says, I would be up for a Tiny Blue Crew Alexander Savage run. That we could do that too. There's so much content in this game. It's so good. I love it. Like everything you all just mentioned in chat sounds like something that would be fun to do. Yeah. But then I'm like, but I want to get through the main scenario quest. So it's a balance. It's certainly a balance. All those things sound like a lot of fun though. And now it's my turn to do the same. There's not a lot of us left, and the ones that are, many are still wounded. We have to make do with what we've got, and I'm the best qualified. It's as simple as that. But don't worry, Nego. I'll come back, I promise. While I acknowledge Commander Hext's right to carry out this mission, I see no reason why we should let her do it alone. Seesaw, would you go with her? Is it at least Hext? Is Hext her last name? Interesting. Would have done it even if you hadn't asked, sir. I like it. I didn't even need to ask, read the second answer. That's who we are. Then it's settled. We'll wait for you to return. Ooh, I wonder if we're going to see, like, Estinian clues. Look at that. It's already 4 minutes past. My goodness. Carmen says, I would need to get normal Alex done on Icepun first, but that wouldn't take too long. Carmen says, the only solution is to play more. I mean, I know. I think I'm going to do more streams of Final Fantasy this month. Like, I think I'm going to dive deeper into it. Because, yeah, I think it's the way to get through the MSQ and stuff like that. I don't know. I do wish I could do more. It's just, I mean, obviously I work full time and life requires money, unfortunately. So that's a limiting factor. And I think there's I could make more time, but then I might be like lower energy or like just, I haven't ever had a stream where it's been low energy, but I feel like that could be if I did do too many in a row. Because as it is, I'm always very excited for the stream and stuff like that. And that's kind of the nice thing about the 90 minutes is that I feel like I'm high energy for most of it, which is really good. But it's a learning process for sure. Terminus says, it's great that all of the content is still playable as intended, or at least very close to it. Means that you can take your time and still not miss out on anything. Yeah, it's very true, Terminus. That's the beauty of this too, is that none of this is going away. And it's kind of the nice thing, I think, for myself as a content creator. In a lot of other games, there is a rush to do the content before it's expired, and then you kind of run into the issue where you've done all the content and you have nothing to do, and you kind of make these videos about nothing. Whereas Final Fantasy XIV, I feel like I have an endless amount of really interesting videos, interesting streams that we can do, and it's kind of nice to kind of pace them out. Steven says, good afternoon, Seesaw. I made it. I'm sorry, Steven, but we're just about to wrap things up. But you did make it. And I do appreciate you coming into the chat. I'm sorry if the time didn't align with your day. I know Sunday's not when we usually do things. But I'd say for 2022, we've done a lot better so far of having a few different times. Like we've had a stream in the morning a few times. We had some in the evening. We've done some on Saturday, one on Sunday now. I'm trying to really mix it up. Ferris says, well, if he does and complete the 8-man raids in Stormblood, Savage, he can then try 2 level 70 ultimates. Oh my gosh, that sounds difficult. I'm scared. Kerman says just in time. Yes, just in time, Steven. But I do think we're going to wrap things up here as we are at the end of our time. Thank you so much for everyone who came in. I think this was a really good progression stream. We made it through quite a few quests. I don't know what our pace was exactly in terms of quests done, but it was really nice. It was great to have Zakuro and Icepun actually join up in party. It's always fun seeing people kind of randomly show up midway through or at the start. They just find me. I love it. You just look at them. I just like casually sitting here, like could just be a regular NPC. I'm just standing on the table because I'm rude, but that's beyond the point. Steven says, lol, no worries. I'm happy to see your streams regardless. How are you liking what you've done in the MSQ today? Oh, I thought it was great today. There was a lot revealed today, actually. Spoilers for anyone who's trying to hide from it, but also, I don't know if you'd come to a titled MSQ progression stream if you were trying to hide from stuff. But we found out that there's some very spooky stuff going on with Fordola. That's her name, right? Fordola? I mean, Xenos is doing some weird scientific magic stuff, and I'm interested to see how that pays off. We also saw the cannon get fired against their own troops, which is a pretty big step towards like full tilt evil, which we know Xenos was pretty evil, but this is a pretty big jump. So some really good stuff today. And then Estinian showed up. How could we not talk about that? Estinian showed up. I'm excited to see what comes of all this. Ferris says, I hope you can stream more Final Fantasy. The game is super fun. Yeah, and that's such a constant battle, right? Is because my YouTube channel ultimately was just an MMO channel, but I acknowledge that I have a lot of subscribers who love Final Fantasy XIV, and they're very supportive and encouraging. So I do definitely cater to Final Fantasy XIV. It's also a game that I'm still not like at the end of, whereas Guild Wars 2, like I'll get through the most recent story, and then I'll kind of only play like when the new story chapters come in. So there's a fair bit of time where I'm not playing Guild Wars 2 as much. So I do try to give a lot of time to Final Fantasy, but I do know for some people they wish I was just a pure Final Fantasy channel, which it's always a battle, right? Farrell says it was a good stream, had fun watching. Thanks for coming, Farrell. Olaf says, thanks for the stream. It was always fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming, Olaf. Zuko says, going by quest number, we finished 6th. Okay, that sounds about normal for me. Thank you for keeping me honest, Sakuro, and thanks for coming to the stream. Northern says, Lalas are meant to stand on tables. So you're good. All right. Yeah, no, it makes sense, right? Like I mean, Pippin should come up, but like we're doing good. It makes sense. Zirkuro says, with 5 quests away to the next dungeon. Oh, I wonder if we'll have time to do the next dungeon in the next stream or not. We'll see. We'll see how quick we make it. Oh, I just heard a bell. Beefcake subscribed. Welcome, Beefcake. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for subscribing. 5 quests away. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll try and be quick next time, I think. If you think Xenos is evil now, ... Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm sure this is not the end of his story. Cameron says, ooh, might get to the next stream. Yeah, and I am thinking, well, I think there's going to be another stream this month to do some more Final Fantasy. I want to get through the MSQ a bit quicker, so we'll see. But I do like the idea of doing the leveling stream with just chatting. We'll see. We'll see. There's not enough time in the day. But with all that said, thanks for coming, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.